Welcome to this episode of Who Gets the China, a personal essay episode. Today, we're going to tackle what to do with that box of trophies gathering dust in your mom's closet or your dad's office. And we're going to tell the story of what to do with those while you're at it. If you're like me, somewhere in your house is a box of trophies or ribbons collecting dust that you just can't bear to part with. You're not sure what you're going to do with them, but they don't feel like something you should throw out or give to the Goodwill. You know you have them, that silver-plated engraved bowl, the hole-in-one recognition clock that doesn't really keep time anymore. We have one of those. I hate to admit it, but I have about 200 swim team ribbons from my daughter's swim meets in the bin somewhere. I have been whittling them down slowly. But what's much sweeter is the tiny bottle of pool water they are given at the swim team banquet when they go off to college to remind them of the fun days spent at the pool. Do you have a favorite trophy? Or maybe 10? I have one. Mine is a small square piece of marble about 3 inches by 3 inches with a bronze-like insignia of a sailboat on the front. This is not a big trophy. Not like the kind that make the rounds year after year and have your name engraved on it and sits in a trophy case for all eternity to admire. This trophy is the everyone gets one variety you get just for showing up. I'm sure my sailing mates went home with club champion or most improved, but not us. Maybe you can guess from the name that Rocky Point wasn't exactly a posh yacht club, but we loved it exactly for what it was. In elementary and middle school, 2 of my best friends and I spent summers sailing small bathtubs of boats called Blue Jays on Long Island Sound. We shared a bright orange boat and named it Three's Company. Yes, Three's Company after the sitcom. Clearly, we didn't take ourselves too seriously, and neither did Rocky Point Yacht Club. It turns out we were much better at gabbing with boys, attending dances, and stocking our boat with iced tea, candy, and boom boxes for entertainment. We complained to our parents that our boat was slow, had the wrong paint, needed new, faster sails, or whatever excuse we could come up with to rationalize our last place finishes. Not that our parents cared, mind you. The other boats would see us at the starting buoys and get out of our way as quickly as possible for fear we'd bash into them and cause a false start. I can picture the chaos and anxiety even now as we almost bashed the boat of the boys we hoped to dance with later that night. What memories do these dusty trophies hold for you? That is the question we should ask. For us, sailing was never about the racing or the winning. It was about enjoying summer on the water, trying not to capsize, or worse, turtle our boat completely upside down and lose the small brown bags of Ada's penny candy we stocked on board. It became a little awkward when our parents sold our boat to new owners at the end of our reign, and those owners promptly became one of the winningest boats on the Sound. Clearly, it was the captain and crew, not the ship, who were so slow. While we never earned club champion or most improved, that little square of marble represents a lot of fun and madcap adventures. But at some point, the question becomes, how many trophies do you need to hold on to? Like Kismet, Big Brother, or Siri listening in on my mental thoughts, a timely and useful article from Heather Nickerson of Artifcts showed up in my inbox as I pondered what to do with these trophies. Artifcts is a wonderful app for saving pictures of your cherished items and adding stories or recordings alongside them so you can keep them forever. It's super cool. I highly encourage you to check it out. Heather's article nailed while getting rid of trophies can be so hard, and offered some suggestions for how to use trophies as symbols, not just dust collectors. It's important to realize that trophies represent your best effort. Trophies symbolize a time when you really showed up. You gave it your all, you succeeded, and reached important milestones. Well, some people reached important milestones. But decades later, these sailing trophies still represent participation, not winning, and that doesn't matter anymore. Most importantly, they conjure up memories of fun, carefree summers listening to Billy Idol and Michael Jackson, flirting with boys, and maybe sneaking an occasional wine cooler at a summer dance. What's a better memory than that? The other thing to be mindful of when thinking about your trophies is that over time, these memories can fade or disappear completely. Often, you'll discover a trophy at the bottom of a box and a memory comes rushing back at that moment. Or seeing it cues you to retell a favorite story to your kids. If we didn't have a hole-in-one clock, for instance, would I even know my dad ever made one? Maybe. Would we forget? Most likely. It's not something that comes up in spontaneous dinner conversation all that often. Here's what I love about Heather's perspective on dealing with trophies. First of all, don't collect, curate. You don't need all the trophies. You just need one, maybe two. Choose the one that reminds you of the most fun you had, or the success that mattered most. One trophy can serve as a bookend on a bookshelf or sit alongside a historic photo. 10 trophies get overwhelming and then you never want to deal with them, so back into the box they go. I have just the one sailing participation trophy sitting on my office bookcase, and it makes me smile every time I see it. Second, capture the memory and then share it. Use Artifacts to create a shareable library of photos and short stories, or even just make a note on your iPhone with a photo and an audio recording, or write a couple sentences about what it means to you. Then text it to your grandkids or email it to your spouse. Store it somewhere you or your family will have access to it when it's time for a trip down memory lane. And last, find a creative way to repurpose it. For instance, you can take the faceplate off and put it in a shadow box with some photos of your glory days and related items. You could donate it to a school, a recreation center, or another organization that might be able to repurpose it and give it a new life. Or one of my favorite ideas is to give it away at your family's next white elephant party. At least it'll spark discussion. Somehow repurpose it. For instance, I need to stop using my sneaker as a doorstop to keep my bedroom door open, and a trophy might make a much more elegant doorstop. Heather reminded me it's not about the trophy, it's about the memories associated with the trophy, the people who helped you get there, and how it contributed to who you are today. So relish the story or relish the memory, not the trophy. Thanks for listening. If you enjoyed this episode, please share it with someone who you think might enjoy it, and follow, or rate us on Apple Podcasts or wherever you get your podcasts.